Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, everyone. My name's Ozzy. Welcome to my channel, or welcome back to my channel. And in today's video, I'm not only going to be showing you the most recent updated version of the Halo story answers, but I'm also going to talk about some very interesting posts. One by Mav, who's also known for making Halo story answers sheets, and one by It's Faria. I might say that wrong, that will kind of help explain exactly how wishing works along with chances and stuff like that. Before we continue, obviously we know that the odds of winning a Halo have not been shared publicly and likely never will by any game developers. With that being said, there are obviously theories based on how many people have won one and haven't won one, and when and how many wishes and those kind of things. But before we get started, this first post by Math says, "Wishing at the fountain versus your chance at winning the Halo 101 with Math." So, obviously, the numbers here are kind of very confusing and it does take a lot of math, but it says, how do your chances at winning a Halo work? I'm here to redeem myself, and what I said in the OG treat is mathematically wrong. So allow me to explain how your chances of winning a Halo actually work. Side note, we don't know the actual odds of percentage of winning, but zero point 0.1 is my theory. So this is based off of Math's theory. And she says, by the way, this only applies to when you click on the answer that has a Halo outcome. If you click on the wrong answer, your chance is automatically 0. That's why I make the fountain charts. And it says, fun fact, the difference between the 20% coming from 0.1 times 200 and the 18.14% of the actual odds is the chance of winning a Halo more than one time in 200 wishes. So the chance of you winning two or more Halos in 200 wishes is 1.86%. If the probability of winning a Halo is actually 0.001, probability of not winning being 0.999 or 99.9%, for winning or for not winning, and 0.1% for not winning. What's the probability of winning at least one Halo out of 2 wishes? Equaling 100%, probability of not winning the Halo in either of the wishes. Probability of not winning in either wish equals 0.999 times 0.999 equals a bunch of numbers that I'm not going to say because I don't actually know how to say those, equals 99.8001%. So the probability of winning at least once out of 2 wishes is 1 minus, well, 0.99 and all of the extra numbers that I don't feel like reading, equals 0.01999 equals 0.19 repeating equals 0.2%. However, every time you add a wish to the equation, your choice increases in smaller increments, with the probability of winning at least one Halo out of 200 wishes, and you can see that below. Bottom line is, the more you wish at the fountain, the more attempts you have at winning a Halo equals increased chances. And then another post says, "Hi everyone, I've decided to create a video that explains exactly how wishing works. Too long didn't read. Wishing a lot does not change the odds of winning a Halo, but does give more attempts. I hope everyone is able to have a better understanding of the system, and comment if any questions." I just realized you can't hear this video. Okay, wait. Okay, try again.
So you're trying to win a Halo, but have no idea how the actual chances work. There's a very common misconception within the Royale High community about exactly how to win one. I'm gonna try my best to explain how winning a Halo actually works. Firstly, let's talk about the exact odds of winning a Halo. Unfortunately, we don't know what the exact odds are. However, the community has come up with its own guesstimate, and we believe it is likely around 1 in 2,000. You are likely to win a Halo within 2,000 wishes. However, it is not guaranteed. This is important because that is the main misconception that people have. I often like to compare the odds of winning a Halo to trying to get a specific marble out of a bag. Let's say there are 201 marbles inside a bag. There are 50 green, 50 blue, 50 red, and 50 purple, but there is only one yellow marble. Every time you wish, you pull one random marble out of the bag, but once you pull the marble out, you place it right back in. A pity system would mean you take the marble out of the bag and not place it back in, which would slowly increase your chance of pulling the yellow one out. Eventually, if you're super unlucky, you would have pulled out all the other marbles and the only one left would be the yellow one. However, this is not how wishing works in Royale High. There is no pity system, therefore, every time you pull a marble out of the bag, you put it right back in, and so there's a chance that you will never pull the yellow one out. But if you keep trying, you should eventually pull it out if you never give up. Let's say there are two people and one is wishing once a day and the other is wishing 10 times a day. Most of the time, the person who is wishing 10 times a day will pull the yellow one out first. But of course, there will be times that the person wishing once a day gets really lucky and wins maybe even on their first try. Then there's also the chance for the person wishing 10 times a day to get really unlucky, and it might take them over 2,000 wishes to win a Halo, like me. So yes, you increase your chances of winning a Halo if you're wishing a lot, but not because the actual chance is increasing, but because you just have so many more attempts than someone who isn't wishing a lot. I'm sure we all know this, but I will also quickly mention that this is only if you are choosing the correct answer. Answers that do not have a Halo outcome will not have a yellow marble, so you will never win one. So the only two things you can do to increase your odds of winning a Halo is wishing as much as you can and making sure you are clicking the correct answer. I hope that explains how it works, and I wish you all the best of luck in winning a Halo.
I really like the visual explanation there with the marbles. I think that's honestly the one thing that made me understand a lot of this, because I feel like math's explanation was very, very confusing, at least for me specifically, because it was a lot of numbers and a lot of readings and I wasn't able to understand. But when I found this video and it popped up on my feed, it was actually super, super helpful, because I really love the visual representation of being able to see the marbles and understanding the difference between not only a pity system but a um actual non-pity system. Now, obviously, there's theories and hopes and prayers that Royale High creates a pity system, but it is not likely. And I believe when the 2 times EXP event was happening, there were a lot of misinformations or miscommunications going around about the possibility of a times 2 Halo winning event possibly going to happen in the future, which has not been confirmed. But we do have Halo answers shared by Math, and we're always, obviously, really grateful for Math putting in a lot of the work. But this was, I believe, the first chart, as they said, to be completed in 3 days. So I always have this shared in my Discord server. So if you're in my Discord server, I will always have the most recent updated version shared in my server, and I make sure that it's sent in the Royale High charts section, and it is normally pinned at the top unless it is the most recent. But I typically have the most recent updated charts shared on my server if you're not a Twitter user, and it's easier for you to keep track there as well. But these are the Halo answers. I suggest definitely taking a screenshot and utilizing these, because like in the video that Feria had made, sorry if I'm pronouncing your name wrong, please forgive me, but like in the video that Feria had made, you can see it, she had stated, or they had stated, apologies, that the only chances of pulling the yellow marble are on the ones that actually have a Halo answer. Now, as someone who hasn't won a Halo since playing this game in 2017, and I do know plenty of people who've also been playing since 2017 and haven't won a Halo, I'm hoping that this can kind of help explain and prevent the miscommunications. But please do keep in mind, there are no confirmed known chances of winning a Halo. There's nothing that's been shared at all anywhere by a dev whatsoever. And I know that there was this really, really old Reddit post claiming that it was a 0.0001% or something like that, and that has not been confirmed. So do keep in mind that there are no confirmed chances of winning a Halo at the moment. But hopefully we will know in the future, or it's likely that we may never know. I don't think it's something that the devs really plan on sharing, and I honestly don't think it's something that the community needs to know, but I'm sure it's definitely something that the community wants to know. If you found any of the video or any of the videos and the tutorials and stuff like that shared in today's video, I'll have them linked at the very top of the description so you can go show them some love and support, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!